All right, today we're stepping into one of the most high-stakes work environments you can imagine, railway construction. Now, this is not like building a house. This is a place where the ground under your feet and, believe it or not, the very air above your head can be lethal. So what makes it so uniquely dangerous? Let's get right into it. This one simple fact, right here, is at the heart of everything. You see, unlike a car that can slam on the brakes or swerve, a train is a massive force of nature on a fixed path. It cannot and will not stop for you. Getting that in your head is the first and, honestly, the most critical step to staying safe out there. So, what really makes working on the railways so different? Well, it's not just one single thing. It's more like a perfect storm of interacting risks that come together to create an environment where the margin for error is practically zero. And here's what you have to understand. It's how these risks layer on top of each other. You've got the invisible threat of high-voltage electricity just hanging out overhead. Then, down on the ground, you have this complex dance of heavy machinery and people trying to do their jobs. And to top it all off, you have unpredictable things like the weather, which can change everything in a heartbeat. It's that potent combination that makes this work so challenging. Okay, so given all those dangers, how in the world do professionals even begin to make a work site safe? Well, the answer is you absolutely don't leave it to chance. You use a systematic, structured approach that turns what seems like a chaotic mess of dangers into a clear, manageable process. Everything, and I mean everything, starts right here with risk identification. This is the bedrock of any solid safety plan. It's all about proactively finding, listing, and really truly understanding every single potential hazard on a site. Because without this crucial first step, any other safety measures are pretty much just guesswork. And this breaks down the entire playbook perfectly. After you spot a hazard, you assess it. You ask, how likely is this to happen, and how bad will it be if it does? Then you figure out how to control it. You actually put that control into practice, and this is key, you never stop monitoring it. Safety is not a set it and forget it kind of deal. It's a constant cycle of checking and improving. So let's get specific. We're going to break down the 5 most common, most critical hazards that every single person working on or even near the track has to understand and respect. The first hazard is one you can't even see. It's silent, and it is absolutely lethal. 25,000 volts. That's the kind of power surging through those overhead lines. To put that into perspective for you, that's over 100 times the voltage you have in your home. This is what's known as overhead line equipment, or OHLE. And here's the scary part. You don't have to touch it for it to kill you. That much voltage can literally arc or jump right through the air to you or your tools. That's why the rule is so simple and totally non-negotiable. Stay at least 2 meters away. Always. No exceptions. Hazard number 2 is the track itself. You know, modern trains can be shockingly quiet and incredibly fast. The old idea that you'll always hear a train coming, that's a dangerous myth that can get you killed. So you never, ever step onto that track without formal, official permission to be there. And that formal permission has a name. It's called a possession. Think of it as your personal safety shield. It's a legally binding agreement that says a specific section of track is completely closed to all trains for a specific amount of time, just for you and your team. It's your protective bubble. And let me be perfectly clear. The boundaries of that possession are absolute. If you step outside the designated area by a single meter, or you work past your time by even 1 minute, you are no longer protected. You are on a live railway line, and the consequences of that can be devastating. But the dangers don't stop there. First up, other moving vehicles. Even inside a safe zone, you've got quiet maintenance shunters or cranes that can move when you least expect it. And second, never trust the ground you're walking on. Those loose ballast stones are treacherous. They can hide uneven ground or ditches, and a simple trip could have catastrophic consequences. Okay, so we've laid out a lot of dangers. So what about the solutions? Well, a huge part of the answer lies in technology. Automation is now giving us a vital extra layer of protection for workers on the track. And a key piece of that tech is the Automatic Track Warning System, or ATWS. The easiest way to think about it is like a set of digital eyes and ears that never get tired. It uses sensors way up the track to spot an oncoming train, and then automatically sets off loud alarms and bright flashing lights of the worksite. This gives everyone that critical time they need to get to a safe place. And this really shows you the difference. The old way relied on a human lookout, just one person whose only job was to watch for trains. But people get tired, they get distracted, they can misjudge things. The ATWS, on the other hand, automates all of that. It doesn't get distracted. It is just a much, much safer method because it takes that potential for human error way down, which also means workers can focus more on their actual job. But here's the thing, no matter how amazing the technology gets, it's only one part of the solution. Because the single most important safety component on any site isn't a machine or a sensor. It's you, your health, your fitness, your mindset. That's what truly matters. And this is exactly why the industry requires a mandatory Personal Track Safety Medical Assessment, or PTS. The whole point of the PTS is simple, to make sure that every single person is physically and mentally ready for this incredibly demanding work. Being fit for duty isn't a suggestion, it's an absolute requirement. And these checkups are really comprehensive. They look at everything from your overall physical health to just how sharp your vision and hearing are. I mean, those are your built-in danger detectors, right? They also screen for chronic conditions, check on mental well-being, and deal with fatigue, all things that can seriously impair your judgment. And of course, there's mandatory drug and alcohol screening to make sure everyone on site has a clear head. And that brings us to the final and maybe the most powerful piece of this whole safety puzzle. It goes way beyond systems and personal fitness. It's about personal empowerment, because the ultimate safety net on any railway work site is your own voice. This right here, this is the mindset that saves lives. It doesn't matter what your role is. You could be the newest person on the job or the most experienced engineer. You own your safety, and you own the safety of the people around you. It's a personal, shared responsibility. And that responsibility comes with a really clear 4-step duty to act. If you see something that even looks a little bit unsafe, you have to say something. Right away, don't just assume someone else saw it. You own that observation, and you take an active part in helping to make it right. This duty is backed by something incredibly powerful called Stop Work Authority. And what this means is that every single worker, I don't care about your job title or how long you've been there, has the absolute right and the responsibility to stop any job if you feel it's unsafe. No deadline, no schedule, no manager is more important than a human life. Period. So from the systematic risk management to the advanced technology to this culture of personal empowerment, the entire system is built from the ground up to keep you safe. So the final question really is for you. Knowing you have this power, this authority, and this responsibility, would you use it?